Nintendo Switch 2, baby! After almost a year of waiting, Nintendo finally revealed their newest console back in January, which has the big gimmick of, get this, sliding the Joy-Cons like a computer mouse. I can just tell Splatoon 4 with mouse controls is gonna go hard. That said though, the trailer also revealed that we're getting a new home console, Mario Kart, for the first time in over a decade. Thank God! I love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and the Booster Course Pass, but I think we were all ready for something new, and boy does this scream new, with 24 characters on the track and some interesting design choices for some of the characters. But of course, the big thing that everyone is always wondering about are the courses, and not just what new courses we're getting, but also what courses will return from previous games. And the latter of those is what I'm going to be figuring out today. With only a week and a half left until the Switch 2 Direct, where we'll inevitably see more information on this game, there's no better time for this than now. So today, let's go ahead and predict the retro courses for Mario Kart 9, or 10, or whatever this is. Before we start, subscribe. But anyway, let's get right into some predictions. Before we can start predicting the courses themselves, first we need to figure out how many retro courses we'll actually get for this game. The reason we need to figure this out is because we need to remember that the Switch 2 is backwards compatible with the Switch 1, which means we can also play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with all of the DLC there. And I think we're all sick of seeing the same old tracks again and again, and we're ready for something new. Because of that, I think the game will take a similar approach to what Super Mario Party Jamboree did, where the game mostly contained new boards and minigames, but also gave a few returning ones in small amounts. With that in mind, I think instead of giving us the traditional half and half of new courses versus retros, every cup in Mario Kart 9 will have 3 new courses and 1 retro, though the placement of the retro will not be the same for every cup. Since I'm following the belief that Mario Kart 9's base game will have 12 cups like 8 Deluxe did, that means there will be 12 retros for each cup, while the other 36 tracks will be completely new, including this Mario Bros. Circuit track that we've seen in the Switch 2 trailer. With 12 retro tracks for this prediction, along with 9 games to pull from, yes, including Mario Kart Tour, that effectively means that each past game will get at least 1 track to be represented by, while 3 games get to have 2. But which games should they be? Well, for starters, Mario Kart Wii is a no-brainer. I know we got nothing but Wii tracks in the Booster Course Pass, but its popularity along with its success as the second best-selling Wii game definitely warrants it getting 2 tracks. Next is Mario Kart DS, which is in a similar boat to Wii, being the third best-selling DS game behind New Super Mario Bros. And Nintendogs? Anyway, the last game I chose to give a 3rd track to was Mario Kart 7, since that is literally the best-selling 3DS game, and many 3DS tracks that were added to Tour sadly didn't get their chance in 8 Deluxe. And the ones that did were either questionable or just flat out mid. The last thing we need to figure out before we can predict the tracks is what tracks are actually eligible for this prediction. Very obviously, retros that were added to Mario Kart 8 or the Booster Course Pass are out of the question, but what about courses that were retros in other games, including Tour? Well, with the long gap that it's been since retros added in DS, Wii, 7, and Tour have seen the light of day, in addition to them having yet to receive an HD glow-up like 8's tracks did, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that they are definitely welcome for this prediction, though I will try to put a bit more emphasis on courses that have never been remade, period. Now that we've got all those rules out of the way, we can finally start predicting some courses. For simplicity's sake, we'll go through each game in order and find the best course to represent it. Starting with the very first game, Super Mario Kart. Unfortunately, our Lord and Savior Bowser Castle 3 is already in the Booster Course Pass, so that really limits what else we can work with. Most of the track designs in this game are either very generic, boring, or just overused to death. Because of that, I decided to make this track one that has never been remade, that being Ghost Valley 3. I think Mario Kart 9 will be the best opportunity for Nintendo to show what a track upgrade is like. We've seen it a bit with the Bowser Castle 3 remake, and I think it can be taken even further. Perhaps ditch the whole boardwalk style that Ghost Valley tracks usually have, and give it a fresh coat of paint where you start in a ghostly valley, and a small portion of the track takes place in a creepy abandoned house. The possibilities with this track are definitely there, which is why I chose it to represent the SNES. Next, for Mario Kart 64, there was one track that I just knew would be the perfect candidate for this game, Wario Stadium. It is the only N64 track that has never seen a remake before, and for good reason as well. It's very open and plain and visually uninteresting, and also very long. But with the addition of 24 racers for this game, I think this might be the perfect time to bring it back and round off the N64 lineup. Give it a whole redesign that adds some unique hazards when doing all them sick tricks, like Waluigi Stadium or DS Wario Stadium did. A new arrangement of its theme that's fitting of Wario, and of course, a visual overhaul that replaces those Wario heads on the wall with colors and lights that just scream Mario! Mario Kart 9 is the perfect opportunity for Wario Stadium to get the justice that it deserves. Here's a choice that you might not have expected though, with my choice for the Mario Kart Super Circuit representative being none other than that game's Rainbow Road. It just makes sense, doesn't it? Mario Kart 7 brought back the first Rainbow Road from the SNES, while Mario Kart 8 brought back the second Rainbow Road from the N64. So naturally, it only makes sense for Mario Kart 9 to continue the trend by bringing back the third Rainbow Road from the GBA. And since this has never been remade before, not even in Tour, this is the perfect time to see how this would look and play in a modern setting. They better not touch my Paper Mario references though, I say as someone who's only ever played Color Splash. The never remade before train doesn't stop there though. As for Mario Kart Double Dash, my choice was Mushroom City. I know you guys are probably sick of city-related tracks, given the abundance that was shoved in our face in the Booster Course Pass, but if there's one track you probably wouldn't get bored of, it's this one. With the unique mushroom cars, wiggler buses, and bomb cars lying around, you're always on your toes while traversing the midnight streets. I would love to see what they do with Mushroom City if they brought it back. Next up, we have Mario Kart DS, the first game that will have 2 courses instead of 1. For the first one, I decided to bring back Delfino Square. Its calm, chill atmosphere really puts you in the racing mood, especially thanks to that music. And since we've never seen it again after Mario Kart Wii, I think now's a better time than ever to bring it back. For the other one, I went with the fan favorite Airship Fortress. Hey, maybe not being an 8 Deluxe is a blessing in disguise. Now we can see these creaky wood floors and ancient towers in glorious HD. The only thing I ask is, please remove the lava that Tor added. This is an airship stage in the clouds, not a Bowser castle, so I don't understand why they added this. Well, since we are halfway through our list of games, it's time for a little intermission with Battle Mode. Let's do a quick battle course prediction for Mario Kart 9. I think that the game will have the most battle courses ever, with 12, 6 new ones, and 6 returning ones. The returning ones I think will get are N64 Block 4, GBA Bowser Castle 2, GCN Pipe Plaza, Wii Funky Stadium, 3DS Honeybee Hive, and Wii U Yoshi Valley. Just kidding, it's Dragon Palace. Now that our little battle course break is over, let's go to Mario Kart Wii, which also has 2 tracks. I think you guys saw the first one coming from a mile away, but it's none other than Toad's Factory. The fact that this hasn't reappeared already with its unique concept, gimmicks, and music is a crime. So I am definitely hoping we see this one make a comeback. The other one I'm going with is Dry Ruins. In general, desert tracks aren't really anyone's cup of chai tea, but I think Dry Ruins is the most unique out of them, thanks to the combination of pokies, falling pillars, and of course, the indoor temple section with the half pipe and sand filling up the room as the race goes on. If there was any desert track that I'd actually be invested in seeing in HD, it would be this one. Ending off our 2-course gang is Mario Kart 7. Now, let's just get this out of the way, I don't think we're going to see either of the Woohoo Island tracks make a return. Despite the huge success of games like Wii Sports and Resort and the popularity of the Mii's, Nintendo seems to be backing away from their inclusion in more recent years, and I think that also extends to the appearance of Woohoo Island. That said, if there's any prediction in this video that I would be glad to be wrong about, it's this, and I'd be more than thrilled to see either of the Woohoo tracks make an appearance in the game. But since I'm not including either Woohoo track, which 2 tracks am I including then? Well, the first one is Shy Guy Bazaar, since it's a very visually distinctive track, with the nighttime Arabian setting in Marketplace, which no other track really demonstrates. The other one is Bowser's Castle. We have a retro Rainbow Road, so we need a retro Bowser's Castle, right? Well, I think 3DS Bowser's Castle is serviceable enough, since it does enough unique things without being too crazy, allowing Mario Kart 9's Bowser Castle to be the real crazy castle with unique layouts and gimmicks. For our second to last game, we have Mario Kart 8 itself. Choosing a course from this game was a bit difficult because so far, we don't know if anti-gravity will be making a return in this game, so I can't really choose a course that leans heavily into it. Because of that, the course I decided to represent Mario Kart 8 is Dolphin Shoals. I didn't really have any underwater-centric courses represented yet, and I think Dolphin Shoals does a good job with the pipes that blow air, the rings you can jump through, the hill you can drive on, and of course, that smexy saxophone beat. And the one anti-gravity section isn't too drastic, to the point that the course can work without it. Just make it a bit wider for 24 racers, and we're good. And last, but certainly not least, is Mario Kart Tour. You might be surprised to see me include a track from this game, since that game was like the majority of the booster course pass, but there is actually a singular track from this game that was never brought into this DLC, and that is none other than Piranha Plant Pipeline. Redundant name aside, I'm surprised that this track didn't appear in the DLC at all. But guess what? That means that Tour now has a possible retro representative for Mario Kart 9. The course just needs to be a bit larger for 24 racers, but once it does that, we'll be good for warping through the chaos. With our selection of 12 retro tracks now picked out, here's the relative order based on the cups that they would be in, with the Mushroom Cup obviously being the first one, and the Special Cup being the last. But yeah, there we have it. Those are my predictions for the retro tracks in Mario Kart 9. I can't wait for the Switch 2 Direct to come out where I see all of these predictions be wrong. Am I right? The way I did my predictions may be a bit different than what other people did, but hey, that just makes mine more unique. Again, make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video so that I know you guys want to see more content like this. But anyways, thank you guys for watching and I will see you next time.